What do you say, brothers and sisters? I've had several topics running through my mind last week or so, and one pushes the other one out, and I got to get this shit off my chest. I had a literal nightmare revisited on me from my childhood in the cult of Christianity. Jehovah's Witnesses, Christian. They're all Christian. That's what they all call themselves. But this was truly a cult. I saw a meme mocking Christian rock, the worst fucking music's ever been created. It gives all music a bad name. And I flashed back. I don't know why 1963 or 64 sticks in my head so much, is when the condemnation for rock and roll started in the churches. And it continued on through the 80s. The Beatles first, and then Rolling Stones. And when bands like Cream and Led Zeppelin come out, they flipped. Well, I'm a drummer. I was born a musician. I'm a musician. And I grew up loving to drum. I would play. I just wanted to play. Played square dances with my dad because there was only country music and New Orleans jazz was the only thing my dad allowed me to play on the drums or listen to on a record to play to. Even the big conventions of the church, some of them had 2,000 to 3,000 people. Some of them had 8,000 to 10,000 people. All I wanted to do was get there and play. I just wanted to play. And there was a master musician in the band, in the orchestra, who was a violinist. He taught me a lot about music, along with what my dad was teaching me. By the time I was 16 years old, my vision of being a drummer was shattered. The hardest rock and roll album I was allowed to buy after 2 or 3 years of talking Dad into it was Neil Diamond, for fuck's sake. And that was borderline too hard rock. That's how insane they were. Totally fucking insane. I was crushed. And I put it out of my mind, starting at about 17. I replaced it with alcohol, drugs, and addiction to women, and living life as fast and hard as I could. See, we were told that the end of the world was going to be 1975. Hell, I knew I was going to hell. I knew it. Because I realized that in 1970 when I fully absorbed that scripture, whosoever looks at a woman is to have a passion for her has committed adultery in his heart, and it's what's in your heart to get you to heaven or hell. Well, I believed that. I was fully indoctrinated. I couldn't lie to myself. So I entered a dark, dark place. I tried to find happiness where I could. Outwardly, I looked happy. But that's like it is with, I was a comic. That's the way it is with comedians. They rise up out of pain, and they use comedy to mask the pain. I settled down from my addiction to girls for a year while I was married. First year. And then there always had to be multiple women. The reason why, I had no roots. We moved something like 8 to 10 times before I was 12 years old. We weren't taught to have any roots. We were taught that the end is here. It's coming. My parents have probably moved 25 times since. I've moved all over the place. I have no feeling of connection. I haven't had life. I got friends from the past who, if I saw them now, we'd take right up where we left off. But I haven't ever cultivated close friends to me personally, bodily, because everything's temporary. Even though 75 came and went, and I got on the hellbound train, so to speak, the conditioning was in my mind. I couldn't commit to even the women I loved the most. I couldn't fully commit because I was afraid of abandonment. Like my father abandoned me, sent me to hell. I put on the best of me. And when I felt like I was slipping a lot of times and a bad was getting ready to come out, I'd just give her a reason to break up with me. I never broke up with the girl. I just had that much common sense. That ain't a smart thing to do. I did it once later, but it was a necessity. That formed my life, folks. And it was only in the last 20 years that I got back into music. And now it's my passion. Every day, hours. Now I'm learning to sing. But that's what religion does to lives. Especially the literalists, Jehovah's Witnesses, these evangelicals preaching their end time shit. Oh, it was all supposed to be over the 28th of January, you know, with the wolf full blood moon and all that shit. One lie right after the other. I escaped, but it took years. And I still haven't set my roots down where I want them to be from now until I die. That's my next step. I've come through hell. I can't drink anymore, but I beat the addiction because I had no choice because of the pain I'm in. I take pain pills. I treasure them. I don't lose a one. I don't overtake a one because I know what it's like not to have that pain pill. And I put off taking them as long as I can. I never believed I'd beat addiction. That's what religion did to my life, folks. If you go back and look in the catalog of my videos, you'll know where all the rage come from. I burnt most of that rage out, but this past few days since all this come back in my mind, I've been angry again. Angry. And sometimes I regret that I didn't make my life mission taking down Jehovah's Witnesses, becoming an attorney. Of course, we weren't supposed to get no education. I had the only father in the fucking world that encouraged me to drop out of school. It's all temporary, folks. I got another one I'm going to make shortly after this about the end times of the near extinction motherfuckers that are just as bad as Jerry Falwell or any of these sons of bitches that preached an end time message. That's my new rage. Guy McPherson is who I'm after. And I'll tell you why in my next video. Love you. Later.